Hi there. So far we have been talking about the Fortigate as a firewall device that can be installed in your network to filter traffic from your internal network trying to access your external networks such as the internet. But beside acting as a firewall, the Fortigate also acts as a routing device. And in this video, we're going to talk about the routing process and the different routing protocols that can be enabled on Fortigate. Let's take a look at the following topology. We have firewall 1, firewall 2, and firewall 3. This is a common deployment where we want to add additional layer of security to our internal networks. Say we want to allow the communication between PC1 on network 192.168.102 to PC2 sitting on the network 192.168.103. Just by enabling the subnets on the firewalls and creating the required policies wouldn't get the job done. In short, we need to route the packets from the subnet on firewall 1 to firewall 2. When PC1 sends a packet to PC2 or to a different network, it is going to forward to its default gateway. In this case will be firewall 1. Firewall 1 will then look into its routing table and see if it has a match for the destination network. If it has a match in its routing table, it's going to forward the packet to the next hop. If it doesn't have a match, it's going to drop the packet. Now, let's say that firewall 3 is the default gateway for firewall 1. So this means that firewall 1 will forward the packet to firewall 3. When firewall 3 receives the packet from firewall 1, it will do the same process as firewall 1. It is going to look into its routing table and see if it finds a match for the destination network. If it finds, it's going to forward to the next hop, but if it doesn't, it's going to drop the packet. And you can see that this process happens to all the routers in the middle until the destination network is found or until the traffic is dropped. In this scenario, firewall 3 must be able to reach both networks 192.168.102 and 192.168.103. There are different ways to achieve this goal. One would be to use static routes. By using static routes, we could either advertise the subnets on firewall 3 and set the next hop or the default gateway to these networks, firewall 1 and firewall 2. And as long as firewall 1 and firewall 2 set firewall 3 as the default gateway, the communication between PC1 and PC2 would work. Now, if we only have 3 firewalls, that's easy to deploy. But if we have more than one subnet and more than 5 firewalls, it can be harder to manage. So in those situations, it is recommended to use a routing protocol. And Fortigate supports different routing protocols such as RIP, OSPF, and BGP. For this scenario, we're going to use OSPF as the internal routing protocol between firewall 1, firewall 2, and firewall 3. And we're going to enable BGP between firewall 3 and the router that is acting as the ISP provider. These will allow us to demonstrate how the routing process takes place and the different options we have with different routing protocols. OSPF is often used as an internal routing protocol, also referred to as IGP. As for BGP, is often used as the Internet Routing Protocol. With this in mind, we begin the configuration of OSPF Firewall 1. So far, we only have the subnets assigned to the interfaces. We don't have any policy or any routing process running it. Okay, so let's begin configuring OSPF on Firewall 1. So we'll navigate to Network, OSPF. And first thing we're going to set is the router ID. And the router ID is a 32-bit decimal value that uniquely identifies the device on subnet, which means that no other device can have the same router ID. We're going to set the router ID to 0, 1, and we have to create an area. In this case, we're going to use the area 000. This is also referred to as the backbone area. And we're going to press OK. Next, we're going to type the networks we want to advertise using OSPF. We'll select the backbone area, and we're going to advertise the subnet 192.168.102.0/24. And we want to advertise the subnet 10.11.102.0/20. Now we have to say at which interfaces this is going to be enabled. So we look at topology, we only need to enable OSPF on port 2. Go back to firewall 1, and we'll provide the name, and we'll say port 2, and we'll select port 2, and the priority we're going to leave everything as default. As for the timers, we're going to adjust to 5 and the dead interval to 30. Okay, these values we have to match on the firewall 3 to establish the adjacency. I'm going to save them. Now everything is okay. We can save this and apply. Now we have to create the policy to allow the traffic from these interfaces, port 3 to port 2, and we're going to create a very basic policy. So we're going to permit all incoming interface to port 3 and outgoing should, and confirm that yes. And the source we're just going to select all, and the destination will be, and the service will be all services. And we want to disable NAT. This is very important to deselect this option, and we're going to save this policy. Now if we look back at OSPF, at this moment we don't have any neighbor adjacency. Now let's do the same on the firewall 2. Now if we go to network, OSPF, first we have to set the router ID, so it's going to be 192.168.02. Going to add the backbone area, and the networks we want to advertise on backbone area be 192.168.103.0/24, and the network 10.11.103.0.25.25.5.0. Okay, both networks will be advertised, and we're going to enable the routing process on port 3, confirm that on port 2, get configured firewall 2, and we're going to name port 2, that's where we want to enable it, and the hello interval will be 5, and the dead interval will be 30 seconds, and we're going to save this. Now we have to apply so that the changes take effect. Now we're going to create the policies to allow this traffic. We're going to create a new policy, going to name it permit all. Incoming interface should be port 3, outgoing should be 2. source will be O, and the destination will be O. Services will be O as well. We're going to enable net, and we're going to save this. At this stage, we only have enabled OSPF on firewall 1 and firewall 2. Now we have to enable OSPF on firewall 3. And what we expect to see is the subnet 192.168.103 and 192.168.102 be advertised to firewall 3. And this will allow the communication between these two pieces. Now let's go to firewall 3, OSPF, and we're going to set the router ID 92.168.3, and we're going to create the backbone area. The networks we want to advertise backbone area to be 10, 11, 102, 5255, and 10, 11, 3, 0. This is the wildcard map. Now I'm going to enable the routing process port 3, port 1, and going to type port 1 and select port 1. Just confirm the IP and 11, yes. And the hello interval has to match on both sides. And we enable for port 1. We're going to do the same for select port 2. And the timer will be 5 seconds. And the dead interval is starting. Okay. We apply these, you should see the neighbor adjacency between firewall 2 and firewall 1, and we can see this. This is firewall 1 IP, firewall 2. We look at the routing monitor. The subnets 192.168.102 and 3. Process. And 11.103. They are router ID. Go to dashboard, network, routes, and those are the subnets that we 192.168.102, 192.168.103, and their gateways, IPs, firewall 1 and firewall 2. So if we test any communication between these two machines, they would work. But because of Windows Firewall ping, it's denied by default. So the next step will be to enable BGP between firewall 3 and the ISP router, so that we can test reachability from PC1 or PC to this public IP 8888. And once we enable BGP, we're going to inject a default route into OSPF. This will allow firewall 1 and firewall 2 to route traffic to unknown networks through firewall 3. Now let's see this in action. So we'll go to network BGP, and first we have to set the local AS, and we're going to use 64512, and the router ID name. As for the neighbors, it will be the ISP router IP, and it's 72.20.25, and the remote AS is 64.511. I already configured the ISP router, so we're just going to focus on Fortigate config. Now, what else do I have to enable here? I believe everything is okay. I'm going to save this. Everything's okay, so let's save this. And we should see, okay, the agency between firewall 3 and the ISP router. And the ISP router is going to advertise a default route to firewall 3. That network, we should have a default route in our routing table. Now, if we look at firewall 1, so dashboard, network, at this moment we don't have the default route yet. We have to redistribute or inject that default route from BGP process into OSPF process. And let's see how to do this on firewall 3. We go to network, OSPF, and here at the bottom we're going to inject a default route. We're going to select regular areas and we're going to redistribute BGP, and it's going to be a type 2. Now we're going to save this. Now if we go back to firewall 1 and let me refresh this, now we have a default route in the routing table, and we can confirm this using this CLI by typing get routing table. We can see this is E2 type and it's reachable via firewall 3 on port 2. And we also know about the network 192.168.103 via firewall 3. Now, if we try to reach the 888 IP, we should be successful. Actually, not yet. We go back to firewall 3, we have a static route in the routing table, but we don't have the policy that will allow this traffic to access internet. So we have to create policy, and we're going to name it O, and the incoming interface will be port 1, verb. Outgoing interface will be port 3. The source will be O. Destination will be O. The service will be O. And we want to use NAT at firewall 3. Okay, so we're going to save this and do the same for traffic coming from firewall 2. I'm going to copy and paste O and port. If this way, for traffic coming from port 2 to port 3, going to change port 2 to port 3. We're going to leave net enabled. Going to remove this comment and enable the policy. Okay, so now we should be able to IP 88888. Go back to firewall 1, test it, and it's working. Now if we test from PC1, should be successful and it's working. And that's how we enable dynamic routing process on Fortigate. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.